Father's Day 2019 is now behind us. I'm going to tell you a bit about my day, my father, my son, and I want to hear about yours. Stay with us. Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to the Video Call-In Show, that show that invites you to be a live video guest right here on this program. Talk about anything you want to. Could be the topic of the day. You saw my teaser. It could be a current event. It could be anything you want to talk about. Personal promotion, website, your YouTube channel. It doesn't matter. All welcome all the time. I'm live every weeknight, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I open the video lines immediately. Of course, I do talk a bit just beforehand to establish the topic, and then I bring up some guests. Now, joining is real easy. All you've got to do is use that link right there, zoom.us/j/ whatever that number is per evening, just per evening. They're unique every evening. That way you don't sit and wait around for something to happen. Or there's a link just like that down in the description box. And if you don't want to download Zoom, which this will get you going downloading Zoom, you'll come up in my waiting room and then I'll bring you up in order of join. You can also go to zoom.us, click on join a meeting, and then put in this meeting number. Same thing applies. It's all web-based. So having said that, if this is the kind of thing that trips your trigger, you'd like to watch real people tell their story, you would like to have them talk about whatever they want to, or maybe you want to be on the show, by all means, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you don't miss another episode. So how is everyone tonight? We've got a good crowd in here already. We've got Tim Yawns. How you doing, Tim? Trevor from Manic Magic Channel. How you doing, Trevor? Good to see you. Just saw you in Lloyd's The Grumpy Vlogger stream. Bob Dip and Flash Your Pan. Welcome, guys. Crap, my dad makes me watch. How you doing? Susan Hamilton, I want to talk about you in a minute. Welcome to the show, hon. Oh, and of course, Champworks Garage, my son. Awesome. Power's out. Oh, man. That's okay, son. That's all right. No, we didn't lose power over here. That's strange. Hope everything's okay. You make sure you text me and let me know. So welcome one and all to the show. Now, this is the day after Father's Day 2019, and I thought since I don't do a show on Sundays, this is the day to talk about Father's Day. It doesn't work well for the YouTube algorithm, but I don't care. The point is, I have a lot to say about Father's Day being one, having a son that is one, having a father myself, and of course a father-in-law. Now, let me talk to you about my father. My father is one hell of a guy. He's arguably one of the most important people on the planet to me. I have several people that are very important to me on this planet, but he is definitely in the short list. He and my mother divorced when I was probably about 1.5 years old. That's the story. I don't remember. and I'll be damned if he wasn't there every weekend to pick me and my sister up. And that that I don't want to say that's rare, but it's something that all fathers should do when custody is handed over, and vice versa. If father gets custody, then mother should definitely be involved in their children's lives. He taught me so much over the years. Right now he's going to be 84 in August, and he's on full oxygen. You guys have heard me talk about him before. COPD, lifelong smoker. He actually quit the day his grandson, was born. I found that to be extraordinary, and a personal sacrifice that you don't normally see people undertake. So, we don't do anything necessarily for holidays outside of maybe Thanksgiving or Christmas, but I try to call him every week, at minimum. But I'm usually making trips down there, get his When my son doesn't get his daughter down there, I want to get my granddaughter down there and make sure that they get to spend some time together. He's got a wonderful wife that's taking care of him. Um, he's mobile, but it's difficult, with almost zero lung capacity. Um, the highlight of my day yesterday, outside of actually having a son that I am extraordinarily proud of, was and we don't normally exchange gifts either, but I'll be damned if my son, you won't believe what they made me. My son and my daughter-in-law made these. Oh yeah, you want one, don't you? Is that awesome? These are the only video call and show koozies in existence. The only ones. And I could not be happier. Now that's not to say that we won't produce some more, but in honor of that, I have foregone my coffee mug, and you guys get to watch me. Look, now do I have to turn the branding away? But not mine. Video calling show. It hits the spot. Is that awesome? That is just the best thing ever. So now, these may be spoken for. I've got one in my truck. One's probably going to go in the camper. Ooh, you know what I should do is give you a sneak peek of that thing, because it's the reason I missed Friday's show, and I apologize for not having a Friday show. But again, this is a hobby for me, and sometimes life does get in the way. Well, life got in the way. Let me see if I can throw this in my Dropbox folder real fast. Life got in the way really Friday night. And, we had just pulled the new camper home, and I'll try to draw up a picture of it here in a moment. Oh, yeah. Oh, here's Mr. Diet, right? So we pull it up, and we're working on it most of the day. And I knew my neighbors would come around because, it's a big thing in the driveway. And sure enough, me and my north neighbor, we sat in front of there like we were camping on concrete until 4 a.m. There was that image. So good. I might be able to pull this in here real fast and show you guys before I do get to got two guests in waiting thus far. So let me see. Where are yous? Come on, you just told me you went in there. Don't you hate that? Dropbox gave a notification the image has been loaded, and then you go in there and nothing is there for a moment or two. Drives me batty. All right, so let me see. We got some new folks in here that I don't want to miss. I do not want to miss. I've seen Was Blind, Brandon B. Welcome, guys. We've got Gas Station TV. Welcome to the show, man. And we've got Bill 56 Bill, or another somebody I saw earlier today. Tony from Viewed This is in. How you doing? Brad from Drone Kings Darwin's here. Welcome to the show. Awesome. All right, now if I can ever get this thing to to update, I will drag that up right before I pull in my first guest. Yeah, we went stupid, folks. Oh, come on, really? I mean, you guys heard it notify me. Oh, for the love of cripes. Oh well, maybe later. Maybe later. All right, so now I want to hear your story, or whatever you want to talk about. And we have up first one of the longtime friends of the show. Says he's got a great story. Can you hear me, my friend?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. It's okay to talk, Ed, when
I was getting double echo, so I had to mute YouTube. So
yes. And that's the downside of the waiting room, but I got to protect myself, man.
and I need you to show me how to do that. I haven't looked. I'm sure I could find it, but I want to add that to my show.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah,
for
yeah.
my callers.
Sure, you and I can talk offline about that. I'll help you out. It's not that difficult, actually. So, flying the colors, man. I love it. I love it. So tell us about this wild Father's Day story you got, man.
Oh man. Yesterday was fine because I made it home.
Hmm.
Well, I was in south of Greensburg, Indiana over the weekend.
Mm.
And Friday was beautiful when I showed up at the property. I did some scouting and figured out where I was going to put my dredge and stuff. I dredged for like 4 hours, got some decent color. I was a happy camper, Jim. And then it rained pretty much all the next night. Not as bad as up towards No Tell'em Creek or you,
Hmm.
but I was told there were tornado warnings. Um, Heavy rain coming. Um, and I'm like, well, Jesse, I don't know about you, but I don't want to get stuck in a horse pasture trying to get out when the ground's even wetter, and I don't want to pack up my truck while it's pouring. So I'm going to clean up and get out of here. He's like, I think I'm with you. But rain started. Jesse went that way. I was heading up to Dano's to get my GoPro session and have a short break on the way home. And a 3.5 hour drive turned into a 5.5 hour drive. I'm driving up 3 from Greensburg heading towards Rushville, I come to find out. And they're like, confirmed touchdowns in Rush County. And I'm like, where in the hell's Rush County? Uh, South of Rushville. And I'm like, where's Rushville? One confirmed in Rushville. And I'm like, where's Rushville? But lo and behold, I was driving towards it. And I drove right through Rushville. Thankfully, I was behind it, but I had detours, high water detours, down, down power line detours. And then just before I got to Connerville, because I went through there too, there was a touchdown there also. And I heard you guys up where you live and Patrick got like 5, 6 inches of rain by this time.
Oh, it was brutal. Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man, I hope Jim and Patrick's doing good. They're living right in the heart of this beast. And from what I understand by the weather news, it was kept circling around Indianapolis.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I all I could Dano's like, well, Salina in your area has been getting hit pretty good. And I'm thinking, okay, water in my downstairs, which would be my studio also.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, last thing I want is me to be 3.5 hours away and Judy fighting water in our house by herself. So, nonetheless, I made it to Dano's house. He was worried because I'm like, I'll be there, in no time. I'm about an hour out. And detour after detour after detour, I finally got there. And he's like, hey, man, he called me like, hey, man, I'm worried about you. Are you all right? I'm like, I'm fine, just detour and detour. But when I got to Salina, the water looked well. I got to my house, there's no standing water in the fields. And Judy's like, oh, you're home. And I saw the creek by our house wasn't breaching the banks, and I was relieved there. And she's like, oh, it barely misted here all day. I'm like,
but honey, I almost died.
Well,
Oh, you got to
oh,
play it up, man.
you should have seen the wild ride I was on. I was like I was Mr. Toad, honey. You know, it was like Alice in Wonderland, or I mean, Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of
Yeah.
Oz. It almost took the truck, honey. It almost took the truck.
Uh, Quite the e-ticket ride, I tell you. If there's anyone of you out there who's as old as me, you'd know that reference.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it was absolutely brutal here, man. For the longest time. Hell, we don't live near any real water sources, and our we've got a huge easement out back, and it was just a river itself. Never seen it that bad in the 20 years I've been here. Never.
might be some pan gold moving in that. Did you pan any?
No, no, it too much grass. Kept getting stuck in the class.
Just
Kept
curious.
getting stuck in the classifier. I have been trying to find some time, man, to go.
Oh,
It's just
Tim is blaming it on me. All this bad weather because I cut my hair.
it's exactly how it happened. Tim, you're absolutely right.
It's all my fault.
By the way, welcome, Manuel. Good to see you, my friend. And who else did I see in there? Ralph's Trucking. Welcome to the show, my friend. So, how was the rest of your Father's Day, Ed?
Really nice.
After,
Well, I slept like the dead when I got home because it was a kind of a stressful drive. I had
oh
to
yeah.
Uber twice because of hard rain.
Mm-hmm.
All tours, high water that I did go through. And so I got home. I was beat. I slept about 10 hours.
Mm.
My youngest, who lives in the same state as our friend Tony,
Oh,
uh,
okay.
he called me bright and early. He was at work, had nothing to do, till some customers showed up. So he called me, wished me happy birthday, had a
Awesome.
nice chat with my youngest. And then my oldest son called me. I called him. He couldn't, it was phone tag back and forth. And so I did get a call from both my boys, but unfortunately not my daughter.
Oh,
Uh,
well, that happens. I'll tell you a funny story. You said wished me a happy birthday, and I know it was
all
just a
right.
slip. Yeah, I know. I literally got a text early Sunday morning from my sister that said, "Hey, happy birthday, Dad, Matt. Matt's my brother-in-law." How weird is that? I didn't know how to respond.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Happy Father's Day.
Oh, I certainly did. I certainly did.
Um, I'm still kind of beat. I'm glad I took today off.
I'm glad you made it home, man.
Oh, me too. I would have got home anyway, regardless.
Yeah.
I just wish it was lighter out because I think I saw the funnel cloud.
Yeah. Yeah.
And last thing I wanted to do was be driving in the dark. It was 10 miles ahead of me when I saw it.
Don't look now, it's behind you.
What I think was the funnel cloud, it would have put it right over like the Rushville area. I don't think my GoPro caught it
Mm.
because I was trying to film while driving. And then it got dark shortly after that. It was right at the cusp of darkness that evening.
That's when it gets spooky.
And that's where a lot of my stress was coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Because lightning storms don't bother me. I don't touch nothing metal in my truck. I'm fine.
Yep.
So my dad taught me that a long time ago on many of our adventures throughout the country. Damn, Can you see my green screen acting up? I wonder
Yeah, it
what's.
is. Your chroma key is going a little bit wonky. That's why I said it looks kind of like it's stormy, and that's supposed to be a nice lake scene.
Actually, it's the Merced River with Yosemite Falls behind me.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's a tornado.
I, I took that picture about 25 years ago.
Wow. You may
Um,
need to clean the lens.
yeah, it was looking perfect before I came on. I did
It
a
happens.
test with tomorrow's guest on Zoom, and it was all going good and everything. I come on here and my chroma key's acting up.
Oh, man. Is
And
that an OBS?
no, Zoom.
Oh, you're using the background in Zoom.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, now I've done that a couple times, but I've never done it, for a show. That's weird. That is weird.
I know I can use my OBS via Zoom,
Hmm.
even if I'm in a panel with you, but I don't know how. So I don't.
Oh, yeah, that shouldn't be hard. That shouldn't be hard.
I know there's a plug-in or something you
Yeah.
have to get
Yep.
for it.
Well, Ed, I'm glad you made it home, man.
Me too. And I'm glad I had a day's rest because it took me till this afternoon to empty out my truck of prospecting gear and put in my tools.
Hmm.
So tomorrow I'll wake up bright and early and go to the grind. But I wanted to touch base on my dad. He was a great father. He was a teacher and a coach. And every summer we traveled. Every summer nonstop. And before I was 18, I've been to all the lower 48.
That's great, man.
Seen all. He passed down his wanderlust and wonderlust to me. And so Daddy's been a Rolling Stone ever since.
That's great, man. That's great. And yeah, I take it he's no longer with us.
No.
Oh, okay. Sorry
He
about that. But
lived to be 87 years old.
well, that bodes well for you.
Yeah. My
Yeah.
mom's still alive and kicking, and she's 86 now.
Sweet.
Something like that. 86, 87.
That works out real well for you, Ed. Well, listen.
I hope so.
Yeah. Well, listen. I'm glad you had a great Father's Day, man, and I'm even happier that you came on the show and told us about it. But not as near as happy as I am that you made it home safe.
Thank you, my friend. I'm glad I made it home safe too. I know you have others in the waiting room, so
thank you.
I'll exit.
Well, thank you very much, man. Ed, we will talk to you later, man. Have a good evening.
Have a great one.
All right, buddy. I guess I should have done this first. It's a Monday, folks. It is absolutely a Monday. All right, let's see if we can get Tim in here. There he be. Tim, I don't see a microphone for you. Check that lower left section of the Zoom interface for the microphone and make sure it's chosen, dude, because I don't think Zoom understands you have a microphone just yet. Where is the picture of that camper for the love of all that is holy? Oh, I can't believe that. I can't believe that. So while we're waiting on Tim there, I saw Chris Hope. How you doing, Chris? There's a new subscriber. I appreciate that, Chris. I really do. Heritage Farms, Texas. Good to see you again. Luke Duke. Hey, how you doing, buddy? I haven't missed anyone, have I? I hope not. Yeah, it's still not seeing it, Tim. Go to that lower left of the Zoom interface. Yeah. Click that up arrow and it should list all your mics. One of these days, we're going to have to try this off the... Oh, there it is. Can you hear me, Tim?
Yeah.
Hey. Yes. Hey. Yes, I can hear you. Let me fix your Chiron.
Turn it up a little bit.
That works. Yeah. All right, there we go.
That ain't better for you?
Oh, that's wonderful, dude. That's wonderful. Can you scoot to your right a little bit?
Scoot to my right.
Yeah. There. Perfect. Perfect. Whoops. Whoops.
Let's move.
Yeah. Now you can see yourself, right?
Yeah, I can see myself now.
Perfect.
Oh,
And
there we go.
yep. And that's why I do that, so that you know exactly where you are on camera. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing fantastic. This is a clean feed. Last time we were talking, it was a microphone fest.
Well, this is a new laptop, monster laptop I built from eBay parts.
Sweet. Sweet. Um, did you have anything you want to talk about specific, or are you going to tell us a little bit about your Father's Day?
Well, my Father's Day was good. I mean, except for the rain. And, of course, we had, 9 tornadoes, Saturday, here in Indiana.
Yep. Yep.
But I kind of relate to some of Ed's story there. Years ago, I used to live in Western Indiana next to Illinois-Indiana state line. And
Mm-hmm.
there was a Coast Guard station out there. And was driving, and with all the lightning and everything, that lightning came straight down in front of me on the highway and took a right turn and hit the Coast Guard tower. And it was the biggest fireball you ever see. I was blind. I had to stop the car, and I didn't know where I was, couldn't see the road. And I actually went to the hospital emergency room, and deputy sheriff came up behind me and took me to the emergency room because my eyes were just blind.
Wow. Wow.
So it was a experience, let me tell you.
How long did it take you to regain your sight?
You
remember?
Doctors had me covering my eyes for like 3 days. Yeah.
Wow. That's brutal.
And everything was bright after that.
Yeah.
So
unbelievable.
Yeah. So it was brutal. It really was.
So how's that channel coming along?
Channel's coming along fine now that we have a new laptop.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I just went out to eBay, found what I wanted as far as parts, and found that, okay, I found the CPU board and case, and then I found the screen and put a solid state drive in it, and put 32 gigs of RAM in it, and a nice video card, and I think it's doing okay.
Yeah, it seems to be doing fine on this, and this is usually one of those times where you can you can see the the shortcomings of a unit.
Right.
Yep.
And that's what I wanted to test tonight, just to make sure where we was at.
Well, good. I'm glad we were available for that test, Tim.
Yep. But as far as seeing my father, I didn't see him over the weekend because he lives in Illinois. So I will see him next weekend because we're going to have kind of like an all family get together and everything.
Awesome.
See grandma too. Now grandma's 105.
Wow.
So
wow.
She's as wiry as ever.
That's awesome. 105. Good Lord.
105. Yeah, we just celebrated in March.
Is that on your side?
Dad's side, yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that bodes well for you, man. Hell, both of my wife's parents are in their 90s as well. That bodes well for her. I don't know about me. I'll probably go well before she does. She wouldn't like me to say that, but you never know. You never know.
No, you don't. You never know when it's going to happen.
Nope.
I mean,
you only have so many trips around the sun.
I've had so many friends in just the last couple of months that's passed away. One was 54, the other one was he was 78, but it was, both of them were pretty sudden. So
that's a shame. That's a shame.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you just never know. You just never know. Hell, I thought my mother would live forever, and she passed away just before Christmas,
right.
Which I was totally out of the blue. Even though, and I'm sure you probably saw that video. I think it was partially due to loneliness, since her husband had passed away 6 months earlier, and she'd kind of withdrawn. You stop looking after yourself after a while.
Well, loneliness seems to be a big killer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, you see it all the time. I mean,
yeah, it's probably worse the older you get too.
Yeah, you see one pass away, and some some pass away the same day. It's just really weird.
Yes. Yes. I've heard those stories as well. That would be strange. That would be strange. We got some new folks in here. Oh, it looks like it's a magic raid. Awesome.
Magic. Oh, cool.
Jason, how you doing, man? Thanks for the raid. We've got Dickie's beer reviews, Nomadic Bike, Studio Geek 32. Welcome, guys. Victor Reyes, This Old Stoner. Welcome. Oh, Eastern Music Ministry. Welcome to the show, guys. Yeah, well, I don't, my father's too tough to go, as early as this sort of affliction would take him. I mean, he's a cancer survivor too,
Right.
but he's a tough old dude, and he's just hanging in there. Fortunately for him, he's in his element right now because he's been kind of a homebody for a good many years, where he likes to, he buys the biggest TV, and he'll watch TV as long as he is awake.
Huh?
Oh yeah, and he's happy doing that, even though he calls himself a prisoner in his own home right now. I think
Right.
I think he still enjoys just relaxing. He got that way after he. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. He bought a boat when he retired, and we went fishing a bunch. But yeah, he's always loved to lay on the couch and watch television. So it could be worse. Could be a lot worse.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, it's always one of those type of things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, so next weekend you're going to see him. That's awesome.
Yep, I'm going to see the whole family pretty much. I mean,
Very cool.
all the kids are coming from all across Indiana, and
Is this an annual event?
it's starting to be. Yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, this would be like the third year.
Hmm.
So
Those are so cool.
yeah,
Those are so cool.
we always had like an annual, family get together on the mom's side, but most of them have either moved away or died. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it does happen. It does
yeah,
happen. That's one thing
yeah,
about life. No one gets out alive.
right.
Left and to death. What more is there to life? Well, Tim, thanks so much for coming on the program, man. If you ever want to go live before you actually, fire up your channel and you want to do some testing, I'm available, right?
Right.
I'd help you out.
And I've got a Streamlabs OBS, all some screens set up. I'm going to try before I go doing some live sessions too. So
Cool. Any,
it's all
go ahead.
it's all kind of designed. I just got to put it all together now.
Awesome. Do you, any hint as to when the launch date might be?
I think the first video is coming this week, if not this weekend.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Very
I
cool.
think we got two lined up right away. So one is who we are and what we do.
Well, tell everybody a little bit about what you do. There's some new folks in here. I'm sure they'd want to know.
We're going to do tech videos and anything and everything to do with YouTube and technology.
Sweet.
So we're going to bring on cameras, microphones, OBS, and vMix, of course. I'm going to work with Jim on a couple things and show what he's using and how he uses it, and how other people do live streams as well. So I think it's going to be a very entertaining and very educational channel for anybody who wants to do YouTube.
Yep, sounds like a lot of fun, guys. I'm sure he'll type in after this, after he jumps off, and go ahead and pre-register. By that I mean, well, it's not, is it going to be on Tim Yonce, or is it going to be on a different one?
No, it's going to be on the branded channel. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're probably not logged in with that, but
no, I'm not.
Yeah. But I know from Tim Yonce, he'll probably point to it, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to put a video on Tim Yonce up there. Subscribe there. They'll get the announcement there.
There you go, guys. So subscribe to Tim Yonce, and you'll be notified when that tech channel goes up.
When that tech channel goes up, you'll get a message. So.
Yep. I'm looking forward to it because I know you and I are going to do some things, and that should be a lot of fun.
Right. Yep. Well, I'll get off here and let the next person in line take over.
Well, I appreciate it, Tim. Okay. We'll talk to you later, buddy.
Okay. Have a good one.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Always good having Tim on. We've had some technical difficulties, but I think we've worked through those, which is awesome. And that has everything to do with that sort of the computer that is on his side as well, because the bottleneck can be both. And by the way, before I get to my next guest, I want to say something about Susan Hamilton. Susan is a machine. Susan has been going through all of my own old videos, watching them, and commenting on them. Susan, thank you. As embarrassing as that is, because she's actually forced me to watch a couple of the old ones. Just thinking about, I wonder how far I have come, and it's really strange to go back and look. But wow, I mean, she has just gone through and watched so many of them. That's fantastic. Thank you so much, Susan. Thank you. All right. Let us get on to our next guest. I will work and I want to say it's Andrew. Shake your head yes if it's Andrew. I can be horrible with names, dude. Your mic's live. You can hear me. You'll have to turn it off turn.
Hey, can you hear me now?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Did I get it right? Was it Andrew?
Anthony, yes, sir.
Anthony. Oh, so close. Dang it. I'm horrible with names, dude. Okay.
That's okay. I think I finally got this old thing paused over here, sir.
Awesome. Yeah, you don't really have to pause it. You can just you can mute it and you should be fine.
Okay.
All right. But if you watch it, if you watch it too much, it'll blow your mind. Yeah. Good evening to you. How are you this evening?
I'm doing really well. Happy belated Father's Day to you, Jim.
Oh, thanks. You're a father as well. Well, I think we saw your kids, right?
Yeah. I was about to say, after that last visit I had on your show, I thought it was only fitting that I stopped by and talked about Father's Day, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And happy belated Father's Day to you as well, my friend.
Hey, thank you. It was a great weekend. It was my birthday on Saturday and Father's Day on Sunday, so it was A1, sir.
Oh, that's double dipping there, man.
Well, and that brought me to what I wanted to talk about. So as I work in a couple gas stations, I get the chance all the time to speak with people who are knowledgeable about life. So I wanted to propose a question to you, Jim, and that's for us fathers of young children out here, what advice do you have? I mean, you're a man who's been down that road, looking back. What advice do you have?
Looking back, let's see. Looking back, the best piece of advice I can give any young parent is that you are not their friend. Do not ever become their friend. You will, when they get older, of course, but you never stop being a parent. I still yell at my boy to this day. He'll tell you. He's 30 years old, but that's my job, right? Because I have, in his case, I've got 25 years experience on top of him, and I always will until I'm gone. But too many people make the mistake of befriending their kids. Nope. Your job is not to raise kids. It is literally to prepare them for life away from you. And the only way you can do that is teaching them the skills necessary to do it. The second thing I would tell a young parent, teach them financials. Do not allow them to borrow money that is unsecured, if at all possible. Credit cards are the death knell of most people, right? I can't tell you how many people say, "Oh, I bought this on sale." So, "Oh, how'd you buy it? Credit card." So, well, you didn't get it on sale. You're going to pay more than retail for it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, patience is a virtue. Oh, speaking, see, you open a can of worms here, my friend.
I went fishing this weekend, speaking of worms, so go ahead, Jim.
Oh, no, that was actually a good segue. We'll just, after I get done with this, we'll stop this talk because I could go on and on, apparently.
No, go ahead.
There's one rule that in finances that everyone should at least use as a rule of thumb. That is the rule of thirds. just like my video on video uh, framing. There is a rule of thirds in finance, right? Uh, of your income, you should never have more than 1/3 going to payments, and that's rent, that's food, or mortgage and all that, car payment. No more than 1/3 of your income should go to those sort of things. The other third, the second third, should go straight into savings. Yep.
Yes, sir.
And the last third is play money. You know, enjoy yourself, have fun. Don't put it toward payments of that crap. Just enjoy yourself. And if you can get close to that, man, you're not only will you climb because income fluidity in the U.S. is off the hook. There are people that jump up the 1% and out of it all the time. It's just so fluid. But most people are not making smart decisions with their money. So I think it's very important to teach your kids to make sure smart decisions, because they don't teach that crap in school.
Amen to that. Well, it's funny you mentioned that. I'm actually over here. I'm getting ready to revamp a house that I got a really good deal on. I do it's a tax auction is what it is, and it's a lot of work, but it normally in the long run kind of tends to make you a little bit of profit. So I'm going rogue tonight from the garage over here.
Well, nobody appreciates that more than I do, and now I'm dying to hear about that fishing trip.
Oh no, it was great. I took the girls out. I mean, we didn't catch us any big whoppers. I think that my youngest daughter actually caught the biggest fish, but at the end of the day, it was it's the little moments I think that I miss so much. When you move from one thing to the next thing, you go from the job, you go to your brain's always occupied, or at least I am, and I'm sure you're probably the same way, Jim. Is you're always occupied on something. And those moments where you stop and you just breathe and you take in the moment, you enjoy the little things with your kids. Those are the memories I think that I cherish forever.
Absolutely. I'm so glad to hear you say that, because it happens so fast, man. They grow up.
I was about to say that you're probably still holding yours in your arms there, aren't you?
Oh yeah. Well, my favorite time with my boy was when he was able to do stuff, right? Finally able to do stuff. And of course I loved it when he was small too. But he and I really bonded when I could teach him how to actually work on things, right?
And I think that's a man thing, Jim. I really do, because with my girls, I felt the same way too.
Yeah. And honestly, I think as fathers, we need to teach our girls that as well. I mean, every woman who jumps behind the wheel of a car should at least know how to change that tire. They used to teach that in driver's ed. I don't know if they do anymore. I just know so many guys who absolutely have no clue.
I don't want her having to rely on some greasy schmuck for advice. So
Oh
I'm
yeah. Well, for advice or theft, because they'll take you to the cleaners if you don't know anything about cars.
Yeah.
And
not
there
everybody. Are some great mechanics out there, but it's a 50-50 field I found. Yeah.
Yep. It absolutely is.
I'll have to tell you about my first job as a service writer at Jiffy Lube many years ago, and
man.
some other time.
Yeah. I want to hear that story too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't mean to besmirch that. I've got a lot of great friends that are mechanics, and they are some of the best people in the world.
Yeah.
But I also know some that will take advantage when the advantage presents itself.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there's no question about that. But yeah, I mean, teaching your kids life skills is so important. And I'm not saying it's only a father's job, but let's be real. There are difference in interests, and we tend to be more on the mechanical side. So. And those are all things that can save you just a ton of money. I mean, if I had a daughter, she'd have been right underneath a washer if I had to replace the cog ears, or the pump or something like that. What are those little damn things called? Those flip and end up pulling the.
Whatchamacallits.
Yeah, I know what they're called. I just can't think of it. I haven't done it for like 25 years, but yeah, she would have been right under there with me. Either turning a wrench, because this is another thing. This is what a lot of fathers don't end up doing is, they have their kids there as helpers, but they don't have them do anything. Have them do it.
Correct.
Give them the wrench and say, here's what you need to do on that nut.
It's fun to watch. It really is.
It is. It's comical sometimes. And that's where we get to have a little bit of fun with it. It's just like, and you probably remember this. Remember when they were so young and they couldn't count, but they tried?
Yeah.
Oh, I just love that. I love to have a little kid screw up, just just basic numbers. It is so fun for some stupid reason.
It's a good time.
It is. It is. And I miss that. Like we're going back to what we were saying. It's
Mhm.
it goes so fast to, cherish every moment.
Well, and thank you for the great advice too. I've lately been listening to a lot of information from different sources, podcasts and sermons. I try to kind of diversify everywhere I get my information from, but it's just in general, if there's not a leader there, there's going to be somebody else that'll step up and be that leader. So being, that for your children, not a friend, is really excellent advice. So it's great.
Yep.
Great,
Oh, you're welcome.
Great response. It was great to hear that, sir.
Just one more. Keep them busy.
Mhm.
I'm not a religious man, but idle hands of the devil's workshop is one of those sayings that
Yes,
it
sir.
rings so true. And if you what happens is people ignore their kids and don't keep them busy, which means they're probably not that involved. If you're involved and you keep them busy, chances are they're going to stay out of trouble too. Oh,
Mhm.
are you a hunter?
Not lately,
Oh, okay.
but
Okay.
I do enjoy hunting. It's been about 5 years since I've been.
That is a great, because you only got two daughters, right?
I have 3.
Oh, you've got 3 daughters. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I've got a buddy who I've been hunting with for 20 years, and he had 2 daughters. They're up and grown now. That's how he kept them busy. He got them into hunting. It was
I
awesome.
bet it's memorable just to imagine them being quiet that long also too,
Yeah, well, it didn't work out so well at first, as you can well imagine. But they finally got it. They settled down, and all it really takes is for them to see a very beautiful animal up close, and they
Sure.
shut up at that point.
Yeah, it's really awe-stricken, I can imagine.
Yeah, and then they shut up because they want to see another one. It's fantastic to watch because we've all been in the same blind before, and it was never a store-bought blind. It was a homemade blind, and man, it was awesome to watch. My boy is the same way.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I hope that helped, and I think you're going to be okay. You're asking for advice, so you're going to be okay. As those people that don't, worry me.
Right. Yeah. Oh, well, if you'd like to see any of those children's parents that didn't ask for advice, go ahead and check out Gas Station TV. We're here for you, okay?
Ah, nice plug. And I don't even have my shameless plug overlay. That's all
Well,
right.
I just take a big drink of that koozie real quick, Jim.
Oh, absolutely.
It's been great, sir.
I'm
Thank you
gonna
very
become a
much. It's
model
been a
over here.
pleasure.
Oh, the pleasure's been all mine, dude. All mine. Come back on the show, will you?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, buddy. We'll see you. Oh, what a great guy. I was serious about that. If you're not asking how to parent when you're that young, you're doing it wrong. You're absolutely doing it wrong. Because no one knows everything. I remember when we first brought our boy home, and here is from a guy who had changed, my nephews and nieces' diapers well before we had our son. Had them, very young, toting around with it. But that's so temporary. The moment you take that child home from the hospital is the moment you notice that you're the dumbest person on the planet. It's like, what do I do with this thing now? Even though it's just like, you're stricken with that panic. It's like, crap, I have no idea what to do with this little bundle of joy. So, well, what a great segue. Speaking of bundles of joy, let's get our next our next guest up here.
Hey, Grandpa Jim.
How you doing, Angel?
I'm doing well. Is my audio a bit better?
You're-
Because whenever we watch the stream of my appearances, just to make sure, it seems as though my audio is a bit dim.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I had to do some adjustments to see if it was a bit better for everyone. But if it's working, glad it's working for everyone.
Well, it is working, but you're probably a little far away from it. Is that your laptop microphone, or do you have another one?
Yeah, it's my built-in a microphone and speaker that's in my webcam.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah, you're going to be a little low on one of those unless you're right on top of it. That's just kind of how it goes. But you make up with it for with your laugh though, for sure.
yeah, But you're always welcome to join my lap any day.
Oh, now come on, Angel. You say that. You say that, and you told us the other night that one of your bucket lists is to get a nice wife and all that. What, you don't want
Well,
me there?
well, believe it or not, when I do find the love of my dreams, I will still joke around with people in mysterious ways, but I will stick with the really true names to my lover, depending on who she is and what she's like, and if we can keep a relationship going. But I'm gonna have more fun with her, but I'll still have fun with the people around me,
Oh,
and that means joking around with you, Grandpa Jim, and filling up Gas Nation's TV pump.
well, never stop that, Angel. Always keep that going. And never stop breakdancing. By the way, I watched that video today. Did you just post that today? Because I just got notified.
Actually, no, I posted it last week
Oh,
and such, but you probably did not receive a notification, or maybe it was a bit too far off from you. If you did receive it, you were probably in someone else's video or doing something else at the time when I uploaded it, and
yeah.
I kind of like thought, oh shit.
Yeah, could be. It's just one of those things where sometimes the notifications go so slow. Hello, STP South Texas Picker. Welcome to the show, my friend.
Yeah,
That does happen though a lot to me on the
yeah,
notifications.
or like in Gas Station TV's case, your gas tank can fill up so slow because the gas stations want to charge you more.
Well, I don't know about that, Angel, because they're metered and
Yeah,
actually they're tested all the time. So I don't know. It's a good theory though.
yeah, it was a great theory, but it probably wasn't the best one.
No, the ones you have to worry about are the ones whose the sticker has been tampered with. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. You want to keep away from those.
yeah, those are the ones I'll have to worry about.
So what did you do yesterday? Anything?
No, because the Father's Day I did have not had one in over 5 years, and over the past half a decade, Father's Day has been a day that's been kind of sentimental and emotional to me
Sure.
because we were just talking about father figures and how gas station TV should train and teach his kids as a father. Well, my father was never around me growing up because growing up in the late 1990s to early 2000s, my dad was never really around to cope with me, never really was there to teach me anything. The only thing he was worried about was my health and safety because of me having seizures, like times when I might freeze or times I might fall on the floor and have a seizure. He was worried about that. Then, like teaching me the proper skills of speaking properly, teaching me how to manage my money, or even teaching me how to communicate with people the proper way. And I just never really had a father around me growing up. Because when I was at the age of 13, that's when things really took a turn for my life. Because he got so drunk that my auntie Kelly had to pick us up and transport us to her house in Bemidji, Minnesota. And from there out, it's just been like the bad relationship between me and my dad. And in 2008, when I graduated high school, my dad tried coming to my high school graduation, and I was super excited for my dad to be there and try to get in contact with him. So for a year and a half, from 2008 to early of 2010, I had me and my social workers try to get hooked up with my dad so we can see each other again. But we started building a father and son relationship. But that started to take a turn in like about 2015 when he started like drinking a lot when I started visiting him on a regular basis. And he got drunk in 2018 of last year when he went down to go be there for my sister Shane's wedding because my sister Shane got married last year. And so it's just been an up and downhill thing, and I just don't associate with my dad anymore. because he was never there. He was never there to help me and his other children. He just wasn't there to teach us properly. He didn't even teach me to ride a bike until the age of 12, which most people learn at the age of 5 or 6. And in 2002, at the age of 12, when I rode a bike out in the area around me, my dad got super upset and grounded me. And I just was furious because I was super excited to finally be able to ride a bike. So I just wish my dad was there to be more with me and was there to cope with me, teach me, just be with me instead of just worry about like becoming drunk and so drunk and partying like a rock star, and just be there for his kids. And he also had smoked a lot of joints. I don't know if it was just regular weed or the illegal stuff of marijuana. He cared more about that instead of his own children, and that really gets emotional to me when it comes to Father's Day because I love my dad, I respect him, and I appreciate everything that he helped do with my life because he bought me so much stuff for Christmas and for my birthday over the years. But until he learns to be there for his kids and not worry about me and my safety and just learn to be there as support and say, you know what, I trust in you, Angel. I'll let you go fulfill your dreams of being on The Price is Right. I'll even be with you there in the audience, or even be there in hopes of me trying to find the proper girl, or give me advice to find the proper girl. But until he does that, I don't associate with him anymore. I just ignore him, and I even blocked him all throughout the social media and even his cell phone
Well,
because it's
Angel,
just been a ride.
yeah, Angel, I'm sorry that it went that way for you. I really am, bud. But let me help you a little bit. I'm not going to make excuses for him, but the two things that stood out to me was one, he was worried about you hurting yourself, when you're having seizures. That says a lot to me about how much he really did care. Now, the fact that he didn't teach you things, and he was more, as you say, more worried about drinking and smoking. Two things there. One, we know alcoholism is the disease, and it sounds like he's got a disease. I mean, he's got problems, and some of the other things, I honestly have known people like that, and a lot of them just don't know how. Angel, it sounded like he truly cares about you. I don't think he knew how to help you with those things, honestly. And then he made up, or he buried that pain in alcohol and maybe marijuana. We don't know what it is. You see what I mean? So I wouldn't be so hard on him, man. I wouldn't be so
Well,
hard. He's just
actually,
a human.
I
He's a human
understand
as
that
well. He's a human as
alcoholism
well.
is a hard habit to break,
It's a
but
disease.
but it's a disease. But it's either the alcohol and his the smoking habit or his children.
Yeah, but
Pick which
somebody,
one.
some people can't make that choice, Angel. The grip is too deep. It's almost like saying, pick me or cancer. Well, you don't have that choice, do you? I mean, yeah, I can't say, well, I'm not going to have cancer. Cancer just chooses you. And like I said, I don't want to make excuses for him, but I think, knowing what I know about people, I think he had a tough time trying to figure out how to deal with his family. And maybe that came from his father. I don't know. Did you know your grandfather?
Nope.
Okay. Maybe his grandfather had the same problem. And fortunately for you, it didn't pass down. That's awesome. But I literally don't think he knew, and I think he deserves a bit of a break for that, because we all come into this world, ignorant of
Well,
everything,
can
and
I
and
give
maybe
you
he
a
just was never taught either.
well? Can I give you one last thing that might make you change your mind?
Well, I'm
Last
not. Wait. This no, it's not a debate, but I'm not trying to debate you. I'm just,
I know it's not. I know it's not. I know it's
yeah,
not.
yeah.
But it's just that you say that I should give him a break. Well, last year he got arrested because he attempted to murder a neighbor of his. Because in my local newspaper there was an article that said area man stabs a neighbor. And the way I found out about it is through my sister Shane calling me up and informing me that my dad was sent to jail, and he could have been charged with attempted murder, but he got a little jail sentence of only 3 months that had to be served from July of 2018 to September of 2018. And the very first day when he came out of jail, the first thing he said was, "All I want to do is get drunk and high." And I understand that that kind of disease is a bad thing, but if he was served the sentence to prison, that would have gave him enough time to change his habits. Because I don't think most jail people are given alcohol of any kind unless they are served with some form of specialty.
Yeah,
So
they don't get alcohol.
if he was sentenced to prison, he would have had that much more time to try to cope with himself and become a different person and such.
Well, you're probably right, but again, that's kind of like that's kind of like spilt milk, and I get that, but you know, he's the reason people drink for the most part is one, they either inherit that disease, or they're running away from things, and usually running away from things you can't deal with. And I just don't think he was equipped to deal with you, honestly. And that's why it is. But we're all human, and we all have our we all have our problems. We all have our blind spots, and unfortunately for him, you know, it was his kids, or I should say, you know, alcohol instead of life. But I don't know. I mean, it sounds like he was reaching out. If he wanted to go to your graduation and the wedding and that sort of thing, I don't know, dude. I think he's trying, but it's been a tough life for him. I bet it's been it's been hell, and he's been running from it ever since.
But I know you're saying for me to give him a break, but well, I've gave him so many breaks, so as my other siblings have.
I know.
And, and it's just that in our point of life, we have more important things to do and take care of.
I totally get that. In fact, I was the same way with my mother, exact same way with my mother. But but of course, I would always go back and say, well, she's got nobody, and no one deserves to die alone. And and I made sure that I at least stayed in contact with her. It was just like on a friendship level, but I stayed in contact with her only because, you know, it's just another human. I knew why she did what she did. It was the
Well,
way she was brought up.
well, I don't stay in contact with my dad.
That's okay. That's okay. That's your choice, bud. And I'm not trying to change your mind, man. I'm literally not trying to change your mind.
I know,
Yeah.
but that kind of feels like it is the
I'm
way
sorry.
that I do.
Yeah, I'm
But
sorry. I don't mean to do that. I just
well,
I wanted to give you a third person perspective, so maybe you didn't feel as bad.
the thing is, you're telling me to give him a break, and you're trying to make me change my mind of me giving
No,
him some chances. And that's how I feel, and I know I'm like becoming emotional right
that's
now.
okay.
It's just
That's okay. No,
my dad.
I wasn't trying to. I said maybe you could give him a break. I'm not trying to tell you, bud. No, 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 no. That's
Well,
your life and
let
that's
me
your
break.
decision.
Well, let me ask you this:
Sure.
how many breaks do you think a kid should give their parents when it becomes too far? Because
I don't think there's a
the
number. I don't think there's a number. It's whatever you're most comfortable with. And you know, if you're good with where you're at, that's cool, dude. I am not one to change that. That's not even my place. I was just trying to help you, maybe some you know, a view from a third person after hearing your story. That's all. That's all. Don't take that as I'm trying to tell you to do something, but really, because I'm not. I'm not. You're a good kid, and I know you'll do the right thing. And if that is that you don't have contact with your father, then that's fine, dude. That is your choice. That is
I mean,
absolutely your choice.
if you were around me of everything that went down
I know.
between me, my dad, and everyone else, you would understand
Sure.
partly why most of his kids, including me, don't contact him anymore. Because there's just so much that he has done that has made it hard, and I just don't associate with him after what I went through when I visited my family down in Arizona,
Hmm.
and I just don't speak to him, and neither does my sister Shane, nor does my brother Donovan,
Okay.
because of what they went through with
Sure.
my dad, and I felt the same way once that happened to me.
Fair enough, bud. That's all. That's all that's all I could ask for. Like I said, you know, it's all up to you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. But well, I'm sorry that Father's Day is an emotional time for you, Angel. I really am.
I just wish my dad was to be there. I know he cared about me and
Yeah.
such when I was younger, but he should not have been too emotionally worried because I understand seizures can be a serious medical thing,
Hmm.
but my seizures are not that all severe because I have had a few seizures that's only been like partial. That's been like less than 1 minute where and I had one about a month and a half ago on one of Cap 7's live streams where I was telling an inspirational story about myself of what I've went through and what I've learned, and then out of nowhere, people start seeing me saying some weird stuff, and I didn't see it because my head was blackened, but my eyes were open. People thought I was awake, and so I had a seizure right there and then. But luckily, it wasn't that severe because right when I got out of my seizure, I was able to see again full heartedly. And I was trying to get out of the seizure, just looking around my surroundings to try to get back to my normal human thing.
Well, good. I'm glad you got out of it.
uh, well, maybe if I ever do have a seizure, you'd be there to catch me, Grandpa Jim.
Angel, if you and I were in the together and you had a seizure, I'd absolutely catch you, bud. Absolutely.
Well, I would. Well, thank you. At least I know someone will be there to catch me when I fall.
You got it, man. All right, bud. Well, I'm gonna close down the show tonight.
All right, you have a great night. You can use this clip if you want to have people hear why Father's Day is not that like great of a day for me, but it's up to you, Grandpa Jim,
Okay.
when you want to use this. But thank you for what you said, and but from here on out, if I ever talk about my dad, just know what I've been through and
Sure.
more behind the scenes that you don't know of. That it happened between his kids and his and our dad. So so keep that in mind, Grandpa Jim.
I will definitely keep that in mind. I mean, it is burned indelibly on my brain. I'm all too aware of it now, my friend.
Well, the only thing you're missing in your brain is Pinky.
Oh man, taking me back to the 90s cartoons. I used to air that thing on Saturday mornings at Fox.
Yeah. Well, you have a good night, Grandpa Jim. Love you. Bye.
Same to you. We'll see you, Angel. Take care, bud. Yeah, it's always fun having Angel on. I am sad that he went through that. That nobody should have to endure that. I stand by what I said. I think that his dad probably didn't know how to do a lot of things, and was running from a lot of probably bad upbringing himself, and people tend to run to substances to dull the pain, but that doesn't help those that they affect. I totally get that. Angel, I just hope it works out in the end for you. I really do. You're a good kid. I love having you on the show. I love talking to you. And Paul Michael DB, welcome. How you doing? Yeah, and whatever decision you make, man, whatever decision you make is your decision, and I just want you to be happy with it, bud. And that goes for all of you as well, father or no father, good father or bad father. That goes for every single one of you as well. For those of you who enjoyed your Father's Day and are fathers, happy Father's Day from the Video Calling Show. I appreciate all my guests that came on tonight. You guys were fantastic. You guys in the chat, just unbelievable. Oh, hey, Grumpy Vlogger, how you doing, Lloyd? I didn't see you there. That sounds like a comedian open. And of course, all of you, those of you watching this show after it processes, by all means, hit that subscribe button if this is the sort of content that you will dig, or maybe you'd like to come on the show. Otherwise, thanks again to everyone. I want to leave you with this. Make sure you treat others the way you would want to be treated. If we all did that, this world would be a fantastic place. With that, I say good night, and we will see you tomorrow night live.